Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Dear viewers, in this video I am going to discuss with you the mechanism of tissue injury during cryosurgery. Dear viewers, if you are new on my channel, please subscribe my channel and listen the video carefully as I will discuss the different type of mechanisms for tissue injury when you do or take the photo rejuvenation during cryosurgery. So let's start. Early on, Cooper recognized the need for precise information on the thermal parameters that destroy tissues. In 1964, he wrote that holding tissues at 20 degrees centigrade for 1 minute is sufficient to induce necrosis. During the 1960s, the basic thermal protocol for a cryosurgical procedure became rapid freezing, slow thawing, and a repetition of freeze thaw cycles. It is obvious now that the thermal parameters used for freezing during cryosurgery were not precise and may have resulted in treatment failures. To control the outcome of cryosurgery, it is important to understand the mechanism of damage. Prior to a discussion of the mechanism of damage, it would be beneficial to provide a brief description of thermal history that cells experience during cryosurgery. In cryosurgery, tissue is frozen with a cryosurgical probe that is brought in good thermal contact with the undesirable tissues. Usually, the probe is cooled through the internal circulation of a cooling fluid. The cooling fluid gradually extracts heat from the tissues through the probe. Within several minutes after cooling begins, the temperature of the tissues in contact with the probe reaches the phase transition temperature and begins to freeze. As more heat is extracted, the temperature of the probe continues to drop and the freezing interface begins to propagate outward from the probe into the tissues. A variable temperature distribution in both the frozen and unfrozen regions of the tissues induces the freezing interface propagates outward until either the flow of the cooling fluid is stopped or until the heat that comes from the live tissues surrounding the frozen regions become equal to the amount of heat that the cooling fluid in the cryosurgical probe can remove. At that time, the frozen tissues has a temperature distribution that ranges from a low cryogenic temperature at the tissue surface in contact with the probe to the phase transformation temperature on the outer edge of the frozen layer. The temperature in the unfrozen tissues range from the phase transition temperature at the margin or the frozen regions to the normal body temperature. In typical cryosurgical protocols, after freezing is completed, the cooling system keeps the tissues frozen for a desired period of time, followed by heating and thawing. Cell damage during cooling and freezing occurs at several length scales: nanoscale angstrom, molecular mesoscale microcellular, and macroscale millimeter whole tissue. The time scales relevant to the cryosurgery range between single minutes to tens of minutes. The thermal regime can be also divided into the temperature range from body temperature to the change of the phase temperature of the body's physiological solution, and the temperature range below the change of phase temperature. Dear viewers, that were all about the cryosurgery when the mechanism of tissues injury during cryosurgery. If you like the video, click on like, subscribe my channel, and also bell icon for latest notifications. Thank you.